So Fox News Alert, today's top story. This morning we are learning much more about the Islamic terrorist who opened fire on a Paris-bound train, injuring 3 people. Authorities now say the 26-year-old Moroccan national was flagged a risk in 3 separate countries because he'd been to Syria to fight with ISIS. He was able, though, to walk onto a train with an automatic weapon and open fire. What does this story tell us? Joining us now is 2016 presidential candidate, Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Tucker.
So this guy was floating around Europe like tens of thousands of other people like him. Is there a lesson here about immigration policy? Europe has a lot of people like this. What should we learn from it?
I'm not so much about immigration policy is that terrorism is on the rise and that Western passport holders who go to Syria can come back to Europe and eventually the United States to attack us. So what I would do as president is I would hit them in Syria, because if this war goes on much longer in Syria, it's going to be a perfect platform to hit us here at home, that these people with Western passports can go to Europe and eventually come to America. But one thing I want to say about these guys, they represent themselves, the military in our country so well, and I hope they'll be eligible for a Purple Heart, because here's my theory, Tucker. The whole world is the battlefield, and radical Islam is everywhere, so it's not about Iraq. Afghanistan. So I hope we will recognize that the battlefield is the entire world, even on a train in France, and these guys engage the enemy. Radical Islam is the enemy of mankind, our nation, and they deserve a Purple Heart, the ones who are injured, for taking on the enemy in France.
Well, amen. Radical Islam is everywhere, of course, but it's more concentrated in certain regions of the world. Do you think it's unwise to give large numbers of people from those regions the Western passports you just referred to? Does that increase the risk to us?
Absolutely. I think we need to be a nation at war. We need to be America. Our Constitution exists in time of war, but we're fighting a war, not a crime. I've been very worried about reducing our defenses. If there's a phone call coming from overseas into the United States from a known terrorist, I want to know who's on the other end of the phone call in America, get a warrant to monitor the content. We're letting our defenses down. We're not acting like we're at war anymore. We're acting like we're trying to fight a crime. It's going to come back to bite us.